Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'll take an opportunity to welcome you for His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily call. Thank you all for joining. Please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj is joining us. Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today we are going to read from Canto 2, Chapter 9 and verses 31. Is it okay, Maharaj, if I start sharing my screen?
We did this one yesterday, Sukavaha.
31 is yesterday's. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 30. Sorry. I was just reading it before, and so that's why. Thank you. 31. You can see it, yeah? It's visible. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. I was just reading yesterday's verse as well. My
Hey, can you hear me? Mhm.
Yes, Maharaj, we can hear you loud and
Yes.
clear.
Sorry about the delay. I was trying to find the adapter.
That's all right.
Let me get reorganized here. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Bhagavan Uvacham Jnanam Paramam Guyam Me Yad Vijnanam Samavitam Saharasyam Dhangam Cham Grihanam Gahitam Maya. And so now Krishna is responding to drop it down, can't see it. Okay. Okay, farther, go down farther. There you go. Krishna is responding to Brahma's statements of humility and ready to take up the service. The personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential, and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully. Report. Lord Brahma is the topmost devotee of the Lord within the universe, and therefore the personality of Godhead replied to his four principal inquiries in four important statements, which are known as the original Bhagavatam in 4 verses. These were Brahma's questions. What are the forms of the Lord both in matter and in transcendence? 2, how are the different energies of the Lord working? 3, how does the Lord play with his different energies? 4, how may Brahma be instructed to discharge the duty entrusted to him? The prelude to the answers of this verse under discussion, wherein the Lord informs Brahma that knowledge of him, the supreme absolute truth, as it is stated in the revealed scriptures, is very subtle and cannot be understood unless one is self-realized by the grace of the Lord. The Lord says that Brahma may take the answers as he explains them. This means that transcendental knowledge of the absolute supreme being can be known if it is made known by the Lord himself. By the mental speculation of the greatest mundane thinkers, the absolute truth cannot be understood. The mental speculators can reach up to the standard of impersonal Brahman realization, but factually, complete knowledge of transcendence is beyond the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. Thus it is called the supreme confidential wisdom. Out of many liberated souls, someone may be qualified to know the personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that the Lord himself, that out of many hundreds of thousands of people, one may try for perfection in human life, and out of many liberated souls, one may know him as he is. Therefore, the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead may be attained by devotional service. Rahasyam means devotional service. Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita because he found Arjuna to be a devotee and a friend. Without such qualifications, one cannot enter into the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, one cannot understand the personality of Godhead unless one becomes a devotee and discharges devotional service. This mystery is the love of Godhead. Therein lies the main qualification for knowing the mystery of the personality of Godhead. And to attain the stage of transcendental love of Godhead, regulative principles of devotional service must be followed. The regulative principles are called Vaidhi Bhakti, or devotional service of the Lord, and they can be practiced by a neophyte with his present senses. Such regulative principles are mainly based on hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. And as such, hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord can be made possible in the association of devotees only. Lord Chaitanya therefore recommended 5 main principles for attaining perfection in devotional service of the Lord. The first is the association with devotees, hearing. Second is chanting the glories of the Lord. Third, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the pure devotee. 4, residing in a holy place connected with the Lord. And 5th, worshiping the deity of the Lord with devotion. Such rules and regulations are part of devotional service. So, as requested by Lord Brahma, the personality of Godhead will explain all about the 4 questions put forward by Brahma and others also, which are parts and parcels of the same questions. Om Gyan Timidandasya Ganajana Salakaya Chaksuun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvase Sasunyavadi Pastyatya De Sutarine Vancha Kalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, the knowledge of the Lord is very confidential, and only one who can hear from the Lord or one who represents the Lord can understand the process. And that is only the first step. The second step is that one has to be fully engaged in devotional service. He says, Krishna says to Arjuna, only by undivided, the word is used, undivided devotional service, can I be known as I am standing before you, and thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you understand the mysteries. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. So Krishna speaks directly. Well, we can know Krishna to some degree, but if you want to know Krishna in full, or at least that amount of knowledge that is necessary to achieve self-realization, then it requires that devotional service that is ahoitukiya priyata. And that means undivided. That means one should continue to focus on the Supreme Lord 24 hours a day. And Krishna gives so many formulas that whatever you do it for me. He says, always think of me. Remember me in all circumstances. He said, but simply by remembering me, everything else will become successful. So he gives so many general statements about the importance of connecting with him continuously. Connection with this material world causes us to forget about Krishna. And when we forget about Krishna, or the process of devotional service, we are again put under the influence of the three modes of material nature accordingly. And here it's explained that this knowledge of spirituality is very confidential. Prabhupada doesn't quote the verse, but he quotes the meaning of the verse where he says, many souls take up devotional service. And many who become liberated, Manushanam Sahasreshu, Kaschit Yatadisidaye, Yatatam Avisidhanam, Kaschit Mam Veti Tatvataha. He speaks this verse in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Out of many persons who engage in devotional service, very few become liberated, and those who are liberated, hardly one knows me. So to know Krishna is not so easy. But we can know him enough to get free from the entanglement of material energy and to develop an attraction for him that will inspire us to stay fixed in devotional service. That's the idea. When we know how wonderful Krishna is, his qualities, his forms, his names, how he deals with the material energy, how he deals with his devotees, how he deals with the non-devotees, that attracts us to Krishna more and more, because all of these characteristics about Krishna in these different categories are unique. They're phenomenal. They're not practiced by anyone else but Krishna. And Krishna is so easily available, as it says here, through these 5 statements here. What are those 5? To chant his holy name, to worship him in his deity form, to hear regularly Srimad Bhagavatam. We're doing that every day. Those of you who are attending this class every day, you're fulfilling one of the requirements of Bhagavatam, which is a regulative principle. Nasta prayeshu abhidrasham nityam bhagavata sevaya. That one must hear Bhagavatam regularly. This is a requirement. It's a regulative principle. And to associate with and serve devotees, and to live in a holy place. So a holy place, sometimes we think, is some place in India, but a holy place could also mean a temple. Or one can make their house, their home, into a holy place by establishing worship of the Supreme Lord within their house and keeping regular worship of the deity within the home. And that is actually required for those who live in household life. I'm not saying those who live in a house, but those who live in household life, which means those who are married and who have taken vows of initiation under the guidance of their bona fide spiritual master. And Prabhupada very emphatically explains that for grihastas, it is necessary to worship the deity, because grihastas have a tendency, not a tendency, they have a lifestyle where they have to interact with the material energy in order to carry on their material affairs. So, in order not to be dragged down by that, deity worship for grihastas is mandatory. It's not optional. It's mandatory. And Prabhupada makes a very sweeping statement saying that those who don't do it, they will fall down in Krishna consciousness. That's guaranteed. So, yeah, it's important. Krishna has come in his deity form, and in order for us to worship him, he's accepting service on a very personal level, and we can develop a relationship with him by chanting his holy name and by worshiping him in his transcendental form as the personality of Godhead. And that can be done in the home also. So, yeah, so this here, Brahma has asked 4 questions, and these 4 questions are mentioned here. Now, please, I would beseech all of the devotees, don't leave this section for the next week or so, because we will begin on Tuesday, starting with verse 33, and we will go through these 4 statements, which will take us about maybe almost 10 days to go through these 4 verses, because each of the verses are very extensive, and each of the purports are, some purports are 8 pages long, some are 6 pages long. It's very philosophical, but it's good training for the mind, and it's also interesting to go deeper into the philosophical basis of Krishna conscious practice and the intricacies that make up the absolute truth, sunam bonum. It really charges the mind, and it sharpens the intelligence, and it gives us a deeper understanding of the nature, the complexity of the nature of the absolute truth, along with all of his energies. So we'll start on Tuesday and go for, I would say, almost 2 weeks on 4 verses, from 33, 34, 35, and 36. These are the 4 verses that respond to these 4 questions. They are called Chatur Sloki, which means the essence of the knowledge in Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you can understand, at least in some degree, the answers to these 4 questions, then you can actually understand the essence of Bhagavatam. So we'll be doing that starting on Tuesday. For now, this is a preliminary towards these verses. And tomorrow's class will be given by Radha Vinodini, who's quite adept in philosophical knowledge. She studies the scriptures and she's always interested in learning more about the nature of the absolute truth. So tomorrow she'll give verse 32, which is a preliminary to the four upcoming verses, which will start on Tuesday. Okay, so these are some of the things we can think about here. I mean, this verse is just the absolute principle that is being emphasized here is that only by undevoted devotional service can Krishna be known. And to know Krishna means there is a verse that says, when you know Krishna, you know everything. And that's a fact because Krishna is everything. And knowledge of Krishna is the complete knowledge in existence. Material knowledge has some benefit. It helps you to do some things in the material world, like the knowledge of fixing machines or the knowledge of cooking or the knowledge of, organizing something. That knowledge is called, it's called Silpa Vidya. Silpa means external, or it means external knowledge. And or sometimes it's called nescience. Nescience means not really knowledge, but knowledge in the material sense. But we learn both. We learn practically, as it says, we should learn nescience and knowledge side by side. How to live in this material world in such a way that will facilitate our practice of spiritual life. Some people don't know how to live, and therefore it becomes very difficult for them even to take up devotional service, what to speak of learning the process itself. So we have to learn how to live properly also in this material world. And that's why we're emphasizing a more simplified lifestyle, which allows more time and energy and for a spiritual life. And it also creates an environment of community where people work together, devotees work together in a more unified way to support both their material needs and their spiritual practice. So that's another subject, but that's the foundation for what we say proper execution of devotional service. Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes that point. Says we have to stabilize our material life, otherwise it becomes very difficult to practice spiritual life. Sometimes it's even considered to be impossible. So that's important. That's why we have rules and regulations according to the 4 ashrams. So everyone should be situated in one of the 4 ashrams, either brahmachari or the female counterpart, which is called brahmacharini, unwed male and female, grihastas, which make up the bulk of the society, those who have families, responsibilities with other duties in life, but they practice devotional service. Vanaprastha means those who are moving away from family life in the later part of life and are living more of a retired life. And then ultimately, the last one is sannyas, those who take full renunciation and engage in preaching devotional service. We are not interested in karma sannyas. Karma sannyas means you just take the renounce order of your life, but you don't preach. And that is prohibited in this age of Kali, karma sannyas. Okay, yeah. So we can open it up for discussions.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for enlightening us again and reminding us that the unallowed devotional service is the only way we can get the liberation. Dear devotees, please
Yeah,
start your video.
based on your last statement, I want to say something. unalloyed devotional service is the nature of the soul.
Okay.
It's not foreign to our existence. To serve Krishna without any motivation and without any cessation is the nature of the soul. So that's natural. Unalloyed devotional service is natural. It's not something that is beyond achievability because it is part of your existence.
That's true. Thank you, Mara. Thank you. Yeah, please, can you start your video so that we can be like a group or a family, see each other. And Guru Maharaj is always happy to see everyone. So if you can, please start your video. And please ask any questions you have on this important topic, which is really, really good. And if you can't, please type in the chat and I'll read for you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Amritana Mataji. Just a few minutes. Maharaj will be back. I can see the small altar of Guru Maharaj. It's so beautiful.
Yay.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Amritanam Mataji is waiting patiently. Please go ahead, Amritanam Mataji.
Thank you, Sukha Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Guru Maharaj, we talked about stabilizing material life. So, what all exactly we need to do in stabilizing material life?
You know that better than I do. I'm not trying to stabilize my material life. Because I'm just trying to stabilize my spiritual life.
Yes, I mean for stabilizing our spiritual life, you mentioned that our
Okay.
material life.
All right.
need-
Listen. Well, I can say a few points based on Bhaktivinoda Thakur's statements. He says, there is a need maybe to enter into the Grihastha ashram. So if that need is there, and one cannot settle that particular point in their life, they might find that a disruption in their spiritual life. In other words, at a certain age, unless one enters into the brahmachari ashram in the temple, they usually go into the grihastha ashram. So therefore, one has to be somewhat situated in one of their ashrams. They can't be outside of the ashram because otherwise, what rules and regulations apply to anything outside of the ashram? There aren't any. We have to stabilize our ashram. That's the basic principle. Ashram is Varda and ashram are material. So yeah, so in your household life, obviously it should be peaceful. It shouldn't be, a boat on a tidal wave water, Otherwise, how will we be able to practice Krishna consciousness? And if you somehow or other are sometimes as we say there's two deficiencies on the economic level that make spiritual life more difficult. One is if you have too much or if you have too little. If you have too little, you might not be able to maintain yourself, and you're struggling to maintain yourself. So you're spending your time really trying to stabilize your economic situation, and therefore you don't have enough time, or your mind is so much diverted away from spiritual life. So that's a disqualification. So stabilize your economic situation where you have enough money, you might say, to live like that. And those who have too much, they usually found themselves using their excess to take advantage of material life in a broader sense. So yeah, they say too rich or too poor makes spiritual life difficult. Of course, if you're too rich, just give it away. Then you're okay. Give it to support religious principles, give in charity, like that. That has to be a regular service for those who have excess in the area of money. So these are some examples. Stabilizing one's ashram, making sure one has enough economic support to live in such a way as they can focus on spiritual life and not be in anxiety and struggle hard to stabilize their economic situation like that. These are two examples.
Thank you. That makes sense, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. Next is Shiv Kumar Prabhu.
Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, and out prompts. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Maharaj, two questions I had, Maharaj, connected to each other. The first one, in this sloka, we see that the knowledge about the Lord is described as, is defined as confidential, Maharaj. I just wanted to understand, is there any reason why that knowledge is kept confidential?
Well, it is confidential by nature. It's not kept confidential. It's revealed, but only those who are pure devotees can understand it. What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? This knowledge is, what is it, what he calls it? The most secret of all secrets.
Okay.
But he reveals all the knowledge. But even though he reveals it, you can't understand it unless you are in the mood of unalloyed devotional service. And although it's a secret, you can read about it, you can hear about it. We call it an open secret. Only those who are qualified can understand that secret. Others can read it and will not understand it or miss it or interpret it in the wrong way. What is that verse? I think it's 9:2 in Bhagavad Gita. Can you go there? 9:2.
Yeah. Okay, give me 1 minute.
Rajaguhyam.
It's a nice verse. Okay, 9:2 in Bhagavad Gita. Okay.
To 9 verse 2.
Yeah, just read the translation.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Somebody
This knowledge. Is it okay if I read it, Guru Maharaj?
Yeah.
This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed.
See what Prabhupada says in the purport.
Purport.
Go down the page. Keep the purport right there. Stop. Stop. Go down. You went too far.
Okay.
Go down, go down.
Yeah. Yes, Guru Maharaj.
No, yeah, just leave it right.
Okay.
Oh, you keep changing it every time you
Sorry.
get. Bring it down. Here. Yeah. Now the Lord says in the night that this is the king of all knowledge, the essence of all knowledge, that it can be derived from the study of the Vedas, and it is most confidential because confidential or transcendental knowledge involves understanding the difference between the soul and the body, and the king of all confidential knowledge culminates in devotional service. People are not educated in confidential knowledge. So go down the page to see what else Prabhupada says about this knowledge. This confidential, simply by knowing that the spirit soul is different from the body, and that it is nature is immutable and destruction eternal, but that gives no positive information about the soul. Now he's talking about the knowledge of the soul, not about the knowledge of Krishna. So this is a different aspect of confidential now. Yes, this is the nature of the soul's existence. Okay. But then there's another part of confidential knowledge, which is the knowledge of Krishna. That's most confidential. So there's confidential, more confidential, and most confidential.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, this refers more to the nature. But then if you go to the 7th chapter,
Okay.
verse number 3, this is the one we quoted.
Yeah. This is the one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Shall I read the translation?
Okay.
Okay. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth.
Go down a page, see what Krishna says here. Krishna is the supreme. That is to say, he is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. Yeah, he's the cause of all cause. In other words, this knowledge is most confidential because it can only be known by devotional service or pure devotional service. Yeah, that's why very few people attain perfection, but it's possible. And perfection has been made easier by Lord Chaitanya through the process of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, go back to the gallery again, and we can continue. Is that answers your first question?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, very helpful, Maharaj. I'll go through those purports again. So, Maharaj, connected to that, Maharaj, just one follow-up question, Maharaj. In my experience, I mean, I'm not generalizing it, Maharaj, but specific cases, I have noticed that devotees who have very profound knowledge in the spiritual subject seem to be struggling with catching up on material science and being effective at professional work, Maharaj. But at the same time, we see that there are so many people who are so intelligent in the science, as you mentioned in today's class, who are very strong in material science. When it comes to spiritual subject, they don't seem to be getting even the foundation, basic points of it. So I'm just curious to understand. It seems the intelligence works when it comes to spiritual subject versus the material science, Maharaj. I just wanted to understand some.
Well, I can say people who have material intelligence don't find it very difficult to understand spiritual knowledge, or they're good at speculating about it. And therefore, they're always coming up with something less correct or less true. But people who are intelligent in spiritual life, many of them are also intelligent in material life also. I've seen that personally. Because spiritual is superior to material. And when you have spiritual knowledge, many times you can easily, because these people generally don't take interest in material life, but because their minds are sharp and broad due to being trained in the spiritual realm, they can also understand other things that are in the material realm much easier and faster than other people can.
Mm. Mm.
Generally. But generally, their interest is in the spiritual. Mhm. So
Okay.
they may do something material because of some necessity, but generally they focus on the spiritual.
Mm.
Well, Srila Prabhupada, he was very good at material things.
Mm.
Very good.
Mm.
He organized this society in such a way, that's a whole subject, that was perfect, that it couldn't be destroyed from the outside.
Mm.
That's why the demons, they really afraid of our movement. Really afraid of this movement because can't break it from the outside. So they try to break it from the inside by infiltrating it. So that's another subject. But Prabhupada set it up in such a way it can't be broken from the outside.
Mm.
And Prabhupada was a genius. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shiv Kumar Prabhu. Sri Devi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you. Dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to you. This purport is so very important for us to understand, for me to understand, especially as you spoke about the 5 important aspects. Living in a holy place, associating with devotees, worshipping the deity form, listening to Bhagavatam class, which we are doing every day, and so on. So, Maharaj, I want to know how one can strengthen the weak parts. For me, I'm living in a holy place. I'm listening to the class every day. I have my deities at home, but I am not mixing with devotees. Once I come here, I'm just by myself, and that's my weakness. I don't feel inspired or enthused to go and get association, and that's where I'm falling short. So how can I improve in this area?
Just do it. What can I say? Just do it. When I come to Mayapur, I have a lot of association. So,
Everyone loves you, Guru Maharaj.
not really. um, people love you too. They tell me how much you help them when you counsel them, when you give them some guidance in their family life, and when you guide them in how to take care of their children. They're always saying, "Oh, Sri Devi, she's really helped me a lot." So yeah, I think you suffer from what is it called? Uh, I don't know what is it called. You think that you're the doer, and that's bad because anything can be achieved when we know that Krishna ultimately is the doer, because he can empower you to do anything that is in line with your spiritual progress if you make an effort in that direction. But you have to make an effort before he can respond. He says, as you approach me, I reward you accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. So there's a lot of nice association in Mayapur. Really wonderful association there.
I guess I just have to find them.
Well, you're living in an area where there's less association
Right.
because you're outside of the compound. You're in like these small little devotee villages that have been set up outside of the Mayapur compound.
Well, I'm trying to join a Sunday group. They hold a home program every Sunday in the evening. I've started to go over there. 5:30 to 8:30, they have a program with kirtan, a speaker, and of course prasadam and all that. So I have resolved to go every Sunday over there and at least get some devotee association like that, one-on-one.
Okay, keep going.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. You are doing very well. Much better than us lot anyways. We are struggling with everything.
Don't you believe it for 1 minute, Sukavaha. I mean, Maya, seriously. You can be in Mayapur and be in Maya, while you can be in England and be very Krishna conscious.
But on that note, Guru Maharaj, it is when we are in this material life as well, it becomes difficult for us to remember all the time that we are not the doer. How do we keep that thing in our mind all the time? Please, can you help?
Yeah, you have to act like it depends on you, and you have to know it doesn't.
No. It's just when something happens,
It
the
sounds
results come.
bewildering. I see in some eye people are wincing now after I said that. You have to act like it depends on you, but you have to know it doesn't.
It's hard.
That's the key. Because without you acting, nothing will happen. But at the same time, the results are not up to you.
Yeah, when results comes, we can still think that, okay, this is Krishna's mercy. But like while acting, we think we are doing it. So
No, you should know you're not. You are doing it, but you can't make the results. The results are not within your power.
so
Krishna,
that gives that gives Guru Maharaj that not doesn't give that confidence that no, we will do this and we I mean
I mean, I mean, don't you read Bhagavad Gita? What does Krishna say?
I
He
know,
said
I know.
to Arjuna, fight for the sake of fighting. Never consider happiness and distress, honor and dishonor, victory, defeat. Fight for me.
Mhm.
That's a fundamental verse. He's saying, do it for me. So you're acting on behalf of the Lord.
Okay. I have to put that in my room high written there.
Yeah, it's the 30th verse in chapter 3:30. Very important verse.
Chapter 3. That's the one, right, Guru Maharaj?
Yeah. Sure.
Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your work unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims of proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight.
Yeah. Do it for me. Do your duty. You still got to do your duty.
Yes. I'm going to print out this and leave it on my walls right up all the time. It will help
Yeah,
me.
and that last word, fight,
But
you should put it into, like rainbow colors.
I know. It will be actually a fight with my mind.
That's who we're fighting with. We're not fighting with anything but our own our own lack of laziness.
Thank you. Yeah, seriously, yes, true, very true. Thank you so much for reminding again.
Our own laziness. We're fighting with our own laziness.
You know, Guru Maharaj, we are in so much of in depth of you having class every day. This is why, this is the reason we are so much benefited for that. Thank you, thank you. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, please go ahead.
Thank you. Raj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I had a question, but I also have a comment on the last discussion that you had with Sukava Mataji. So I'll say the comment first and I'll ask you the question. The comment was around an example of what you were just describing to Sukava Mataji. I remember when we were at the London Rat Yatra and the crowd was like huge and crazy, and I was just like tiny, and yet my service was to like try and control the crowd and get them out of the way so they don't get run over by the procession and the carriage. And I was thinking, I'm so tiny and the crowd is so huge and crazy. This is impossible for me. But then I remember that this is my service, so I have to do it to the best of my intelligence and follow the guidance that I've been given. And I ultimately, Krishna or Lord Jagannath will take care. And then I just work to the best of my ability in that frame of mind. And suddenly you see this massive crazy crowd just gets washed back like the tide going out again. It's wonderful.
Yeah, as soon as you depend on Krishna and, beg for his mercy, everything happens.
And my question, Maharaj, is you're talking about or reading about how this confidential knowledge, we only understand this confidential knowledge once we have become a pure devotee. Yet we see that the devotees all have different levels of intelligence. So what is that intelligence?
Well, generally, we talk about spiritual intelligence. People have different degrees of material intelligence, but spiritual intelligence is available for everyone. What is that spiritual intelligence? The instructions of the spiritual master, the words of Krishna, the knowledge given in scripture. So therefore, devotee is what is called Shastra Chakshush, one who sees life not through the eyes, but through knowledge, one who sees life through knowledge. And that knowledge is available through Guru and Krishna, Shastra. So that's why we have these classes, to sharpen our knowledge, to gain greater knowledge, to learn how to apply the knowledge we have. It's a process. Process means it's something that is developing. It's not that you become intelligent all of a sudden, but you work towards that.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj.
And the means to gain it is available. Prabhupada said we should read these books every day. Aside from the classes we give here, we should take time to read. And then our intelligence will sharpen. And if you read efficiently, and what we say, if you read a lot, I can say, then after some time you qualify yourself to start preaching. As Prabhupada said, preacher simply means reader.
Mm.
You want to preach? Read. But read, read, read. Okay, continue.
Thank you, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, for sharing your experience and asking that question. Manisha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and you. Maharaj, as it is in the first line, it is said that Lord Brahma is the topmost devotee of the Lord within the universe. But as is already knows that Vaishnavam Yatha Shambhu, among the Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva is the greatest. So I'm confused. Could you please help me to understand this?
Yeah. Why do you compare one with the other? They're both the greatest.
Okay.
That's the answer. But actually, Lord Shiva is not even in this universe. He's beyond the universe. He's in a place called Kailash, which is above the material world. There's three worlds. There's Devidam, Haridam, Maheshdam. Haridam is the spiritual world. Devidam is the material world. Maheshdam is the abode of Shiva. There's that verse is in the Brahma Samhita, where it mentions the three dhams. Yeah.
Okay, Maharaj. So we are living in Devi Dham.
Yeah, Devi Dham means Durga Dham. She's a superintendent of the material world.
Durga.
Maharaj, thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Sridevi Mataji.
Thank you. Maharaj, just one quick question about the deity worship part. I remember you mentioning in our Italy retreat that keep it simple and keep it something doable and practical every day. And you had mentioned that the simplest arti is offering flowers, incense, and chamara, I think.
Right. Yeah.
And if not the chamara, you had also said one more alternative. You said flower, incense, and something else. I couldn't remember.
No, I mean, if you see what's a dubarti in the temple?
A light, diya, incense, and chamara.
Yeah, so that's it. Do a dubarti, three things.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's if you're lazy. If you're really into worshiping your deity, you'll do a full arti. Dubarti take 10 minutes. A full arti will take maybe almost 22 minutes, something like that. Then just a little bit longer, that's all.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Hima Ganga Mataji. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yesterday, I didn't understand one point, Guru Maharaj. You said, don't impress senior devotees by your own qualities. Don't impress senior devotees by your own qualities. It means what, Maharaj?
Mm.
You're trying to show off how advanced you are. You want to make an impression to the senior devotees that then if you're in front of a senior devotee, you should always be very humble and never think yourself have any good qualities. It's like approaching the Lord in the same way. So a devotee is humble. They're not trying to show off whatever success they have, whether they have knowledge or whether they have some spiritual achievements that have been noted. I've seen, sometimes I remember many years ago, I used to do that and try to impress others by how much I know. And they look at you like, what a fool you are. It's just pretense.
Okay.
It's false pride. It's wanting to be recognized as being advanced.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
that activity disqualifies you for being advanced. Because it's contrary to the character of a devotee.
Okay.
In other words, Prabhupada said, try to glorify and recognize Krishna, and don't try to attract attention to yourself.
Yeah, got it.
Material life, people are trying, especially women, they always want to attract attention to themselves. That's why they dress in a certain way, they act in a certain way just to get people's attention. Men do it too, but women are very much prominent in trying to attract the attention of others.
Yes.
Men do it also. But the devotees it's not trying to attract. Devotees trying to get the attention away from themselves and onto others and onto Krishna, onto the spiritual master.
Thanks. And one more doubt, Maharaj. Yesterday I was reading fourth canto 20 sloka, and there in translation I read Atri Muni was asking for son, and he's asking for son exactly like Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why he is not pure devotee like that. It is mentioned, Maharaj. I didn't understand that, Maharaj.
You didn't understand what?
I mean, he's asking son for the welfare of the world, not for his own self purpose. But why he is like not pure devotee?
Because he wants to. If he wants Krishna as his son, then he's a pure devotee. But if he wants some son like Krishna, and Krishna says there's no son like me anyway. There's no second person. Yeah, he's asking for something material, that's all.
Sometimes I feel Krishna is very simple. For Putana, he's trying to kill Krishna, but she reached Goloka. But sometimes Krishna says only in some millions one person can reach me like that. So
She didn't reach Goloka, she reached liberation. A very high state of liberation.
I got it, Manoj. Thank you. Thank you. Guru.
Yeah. Not ordinary liberation.
Thank you, Mataji. On the Guru Maharaj, on the point of liberation, in the verse 7.3, which you mentioned in the class, it says that out of many people who offer devotional service, and only few are liberated. So if the devotees offering devotional service, where will they be liberated? They won't go back to Golok Vrindavan. Is that what it means, isn't it?
But one thing we should understand that the process of devotional service is on the liberated platform.
Okay.
It's actually beyond liberation. Liberation means freedom from the cycle of birth and death.
Okay.
But then that liberation could be into the Brahma Jyoti, Brahman effulgence. That's a form of liberation. Or it could be Paramatma realization. But these two are subordinate to devotional service, which is Bhagavan realization.
Hmm.
So devotees are not interested. The word liberation is used in with different definitions sometimes.
Hmm.
But liberation really means freedom from the cycle of birth and death. Doesn't mean love of God.
Hmm. Okay. So while we are in this material world and performing devotional service, can we have that sort of a relationship with Krishna, like friendship or the parenthood, or serving him, any relationship, or we can't think of those things at the moment because we are
Lord
not.
Chaitanya came to teach spontaneous devotional service.
Hmm.
The first the sadhana bhakti is divided into two groups, Vaidhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti.
Hmm.
Vaidhi bhakti is rules and regulations. When one becomes fixed and advanced in following the rules and regulations, they move to the different stages of bhakti. When they get to the stage of ruchi, ruchi generally, some cases ashakti, then they can take up what is called Raganuga sadhana.
Okay.
And that Shiva Ram Maharaj has been a real strong proponent of inspiring devotees to understand that simply following rules and regulations, you won't reach love of God. You can't. You have to come to spontaneous devotional service. And there's a process on how to practice the elements of spontaneous devotional service. And if you read, Prabhupada also mentions it, but Prabhupada doesn't mention it in a systematic way. He mentions it in different places throughout the scriptures. But Shiva Ram Maharaj is reading books about it, taking what Prabhupada has said and putting it into more or less a readable form. And Lord Chaitanya, he says the same thing. He says devotional service that is imbued with awe and reverence doesn't attract me at all. But you have to go through that stage to get to the higher stages. It's about loving Krishna and coming to the stage of adopting one of the moods of loving Krishna, either as in Sakya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, Madhurya Ras.
Yeah, so sometimes when we are offering devotional service to our deities, we do have that Vatsalya Ras in the serving. Is it okay, or should we stop
In the
it?
deity worship, you're really serving in Vatsalya Ras, pretty much.
Okay. It's
Pretty
okay
much.
to have that
But
feeling,
your
isn't it?
consciousness has to be there also.
Mhm.
Like if you put something in front of Krishna, some bhoga, and he doesn't eat it, then you say, Krishna, why are you eating? You're going to get sick. If you get sick, then I have to give you some medicine. And Krishna says, oh yeah, I don't want to trouble my mother. All right, I'll eat.
When I offer very hot food, fresh bhoga, I always tell him, wait till it's cool down a little bit,
Yeah,
and then you eat it.
yeah. He's listening.
Okay, that's all right. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Gaurangi Priya Mataji, go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna, Gauri Priya. Please accept my humble obeisances, dear Maharaj, and all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Maharaj was not so much, not attentive. I have a question. So in the purport, it is said about this five principles, yeah, which Lord Chaitanya is recommending. So this three first principles, like the first is association with devotees, hearing in brackets. Second is chanting the glories of the Lord, and third, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the pure devotee. So here, like, are these three principles not like in one taken? I mean, like when we are like now, yeah, discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, so that is already chanting the glories of the Lord, and
Right.
that is also association, and we are like, or maybe I'm not understanding about the association with devotees.
Well, chanting the glories of the Lord, really, Lord Chaitanya told Rupa Goswami to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's what he was referring to. But
Okay.
any of the glories of the Lord, his names, forms, pastimes are also considered the glories of the Lord. But what is the confusion about association?
Yeah, so like about the association, maybe it should be also. I'm really like confused about the association. Like here we are also associating in a way, or there should be present this six elements, like giving prasadam, taking
Yeah,
prasadam.
yeah, that's actual association.
Okay.
Yeah. Prabhupada said, I have established these temples simply to facilitate these six loving exchanges between devotees. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, now I got it.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Looks
you.
like we
Run out of questions. Yes, there's nothing in the chat, Maharaj.
okay. Thank you very much. We can stop here. We can do maybe. How about we do one round of japa? At least
That'd
I
be
can.
brilliant, Guru Maharaj.
I can
That'd
do
be
one round, but maybe you can do more than one round.
okay. Will do. Thank you so
Do like
much.
that with my beads.
I'll let me see if I can share my screen. The japa picture.
Sit up straight with your back straight. If you're sitting in the chair, just keep your back straight. If you're sitting on a cushion, then make an effort to keep that back straight. And we begin by approaching the holy name by glorifying Lord Chaitanya. So we begin Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,